Hi, good morning. This is Boni Gopalan from WalkInto. This is about the important feature that we are releasing tomorrow on WalkInto, which is now starting tomorrow. You will be able to use all the photospheres from Streetview in WalkInto. So since the Maps API support is slightly off on this even now, so we had to do a little bit of workaround to make it all happen. So it requires a viewer type selection and a few simple rules. So in this Hangout, I want to walk you through those changes that we have done, mainly through a screen share, and I will be sharing this video in the forums. Okay. The changes are going to happen tomorrow. There will be a very slight interruption of the service in the sense like you or the published tools will continue to be available. However, the editor will not be available because we need a little bit of data migration for which we need to make the system read only for a while. So everything that is published will stay as is. Now, without much further ado, let me show you and tell you what this feature is all about. Next, you will see a screen share. Thank you. All right. So here, what we are looking at is a photosphere from a Street View that was published on May 2016. If you have been following WalkInto closely, you would know that after Google Views went live, Google Maps have made some changes with which importing and using newer photospheres, that is, spheres that are published after October 2015, was not possible in WalkInto. And because of various instability issues in the Maps API that we use inherently to make all the Street View importing possible, we were not comfortable with using some of the workarounds that Google were providing to use these spheres in WalkInto. Hence, like we had taken a stand that only everything from Street View and some photospheres, most photospheres that are published before October 2015 will be available in WalkInto for a while. That's going to change tomorrow. All new, everything since October 2015, as well as anything that you're going to publish in the future using the new Street View app, you will be able to use all of them in WalkInto without any problem using the exact same techniques that you are familiar with. So to demonstrate that, what I want to show you is that so this sphere earlier it wouldn't have been possible to import into WalkInto. So now it is possible to do that. All we had to do. So here I am on the WalkInto editor here. What I'm going to do is from here pick this URL from the title bar, copy it, then head over to the editor. Get this once, paste it back. So as you can see, I have the new sphere available here, and I can add it. I have, unfortunately, I clicked the first menu over there. Now I brought it back once again. I can add it as a new menu item. So in addition to adding it as a menu item, you could also shortlist it just using the exact same techniques that you are familiar with, so that you could use it as a scene link, you could use it as a float point. So everything that possibly you can use with a normal entry from regular Street View, we can use with the newer photosphere also. Very natural shape for you. Uh, this is a photosphere, obviously taken using theta. This gentleman is holding it in the de facto theta style to click the sphere. Probably it would have been better to use a stick, right? Anyways, now with this change, there is certain modernizations that has come to WalkInto also. For example, now when you click on a transition, you get that smooth move to the next panel. That's possible in the Street View. That's part of WalkInto. But you could see that there's a bit of difference between what is there in Street View and what is there in WalkInto. You could hear if you look here, and there are no arrows. There's no white arrows leading to the next panel. What you see here is this is the plain Street View of the exact same location that we are seeing here. Uh, here there is no white arrow. Here there is a white arrow. So now, and also there is this long click transition icon that is possible, which will also trigger a move to a different panel. Some treat this as a cleaner interface. Some has different opinions about. Some people really like the white chevrons. So whichever it is, WalkInto is all about giving options and customizations to you. The choice should be with you. So what we have done is we have gone ahead and added a couple of settings in WalkInto. Uh, these two items that you hear, disable click to go and show street view links. When you uncheck disable click to go, so this will enable the long clicking, in the sense that you can click now further away from your where you're standing and transition there. Let's see how it works. So here now you can see that even in WalkInto preview, I could long click and I could jump to the next panel. Okay, so that is made possible using that setting by unchecking disable click to go. And next, if you do not like these white arrows, all you need to do is uncheck the show street view links. Now, when you go to the preview, voila, that's also gone. So now this is close to what we have on the plain simple street view. The only transition that's available is this one, is the standard street view. Okay. So that is these are the main set of changes, and mainly you can import everything from Photosphere, and secondly you could use these two settings, disable click to go and show street view links, to make the user interface, the chevron navigation user interface, closer to what Street View has. Okay, now let me discuss what is possible and what is not possible. If you have been looking at the screen closely, you would have noticed that currently we have a new small setting here called viewer type. And viewer type currently is selected as experimental. Experimental stands for the new Street View viewer. Currently it is experimental. That's why we are going to continue to call it experimental, to remind ourselves that this is not a modern viewer. There is still changes to be done on that. And when Google does it, we will name it appropriately and we will shift to the new viewer with full confidence. Until then, we are going to provide you with this shifting possibilities. If there is experimental, what is the other one? That's a good question, right? So now when you click on this change option, what you see is you have a standard and experimental option. In experimental, custom panels are not possible. So that is a limitation on Google Street View viewer, and that we are not going to allow you to use custom panels when you are using experimental viewer, because there are huge instabilities in the system that doesn't allow smooth using of custom panels. In standard viewer, this is the photosphere viewer that you are familiar with. The newer photosphere cannot be used, but it is the old WalkInto that you have. So if you have a need to use custom panels, for the time being, you will have to use the standard viewer. Okay, that's the only difference. So custom panels, standard viewer, no custom panels, you can safely use the new experimental viewer, and this will be the default viewer for all the new tools. When you create a new tool, if you are starting to use custom panels, we will give you an option to switch the viewer to standard and then continue using it. So we have programmed it nicely so that you will not be making a mistake in this whole transition. Okay. So standard and experimental viewer, and we have a bunch of rules that is in place to ensure that accidental changes doesn't happen. For instance, since we have already used the new photosphere here, if I attempt to shift to standard viewer, I will get a decent message that tells me that this tool uses photospheres in Street View app format, which is correct. There is a recommendation to first remove the following photospheres from your tool before switching to standard viewer. Okay. Now, if I go to the details, I could see that there is a menu item that's offending. So if I go ahead and delete this menu item, and then I go and do a change to standard, then it will do the change. And once the change has happened and it is saved, I will have to reload the tool. Reloading the tool will open the editor back with the new type of settings. And now here you can see that all those uh, transitions and everything is gone. So it is back to our standard viewer. This is stable. This works fine. This doesn't have all the beauty of smooth navigation. This cannot use the new photospheres. However, you can use custom panels if that is what works for you. You could open up a custom panel from your selection of available panels and safely use it for annotations. Now I have imported this custom panel, and this is a panel that is for people who are not familiar with custom panel. Custom panels are panels outside Google Street View. You can call it, just call it custom panel. So now we are using custom panel, and the viewer type is standard. If I were to try to change to experimental viewer accidentally, it tells me that it uses custom panels, and hence I can't do the shift. Okay, which is a fair, safe option. Now, just like the way in which I had demonstrated earlier, I could remove this custom panel from my link. And this does the check for menu, floor plans, scene links, various links on your panels. So various checks and balances are in place. So there is absolutely nothing to worry about on that. Okay, so now I could actually shift the viewer type to experimental, and just the same way, after saving it, it will reload the tool back, and it will get me the new modern viewer with nice smooth transitions. Okay. These are the main changes, and as part of the migration, we will be as part of this change, we will be doing a data migration, which will upgrade all your existing tools appropriately to the right viewer types. So if you are using custom panels, it will still stay to use the standard viewer. If you are not using the custom panels, if you are purely using Street View content, your published tools will start using this nice smooth animation. This will you'll start seeing it from later part of tomorrow, that is July 31st, and absolutely surely from August 1st onwards. Okay. So in short, the big change that we have done is we have implemented the ability to import in newer photospheres in WalkInto. And importing new photospheres you can do directly by copying the URL and pasting it. You could always use it by going to the map view, enabling the pop-ups here, and you can see that there's a lot more photospheres since the last 1 year of we not using it. So people have been really publishing photospheres a lot with all the one-click and newer cameras. And as long as you are using experimental viewer, you could get the content to 2.5 billion photospheres that are published on Street View right now. And to get the transition UI closer to what Street View has to offer, we have added these two settings options in the settings, disable click to go and show Street View links to enable smoother transition. Okay. Everything should go fine. We should be able to complete the migration in about a couple of hours on July 31st, sometime during the day. We have already announced the upgrade window. We wouldn't be sending another email notification confirming that everything has gone well. If something doesn't go well, then only you will be getting an email from me tomorrow. Otherwise, everything should be good. Okay. Thank you very much for joining today. Thank you very much for watching this. And this opens up huge potential and gives you back the full flexibility. And we are really happy for releasing this feature, because the promise of WalkInto has always been that you can use everything on Street View in WalkInto. And we were really disappointed. We are really disappointed that for a short while we couldn't give you everything that is on Street View, even though it was limited only to some of the Street View content. For the pros, it doesn't matter, but it pretty much closed the flow of tool creation for enthusiasts. And now with the Street View app becoming the main publishing option, it's imperative that we start supporting it. Okay, so it's it's a thing of the past, and hopefully like Google will get all the fixes done fairly easily, so that we can take away this viewer type selection and everybody can start using the modern viewer. And we don't need to call it experimental viewer anymore. So custom panos as well as Street View panos and Photosphere panos and all can coexist in the same tool without any problems. Okay, all right. But that's another announcement that hopefully I will be able to make in the near future. Signing off now. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. This is Boni Gopalan talking about the changes that we are doing on July 31st, 2016. Bye.